Okay, so today I'm continuing what should be about the final endgame phase of the variant Gauntlet. It might sound like I almost want it to end because I do kind of want to go back to playing regular chess and try to see how badly I would have fallen off or whatever. Like, we were on such an incredible streak that I got from like 1500 to 1700 in like a couple months, which maybe doesn't seem like a big deal, but just in the improvisational weird way I do it, I sort of finally validated what I have come around to call the pink flamingo technique, just because that sort of reactionary style of play without needing to study. Like, think about how much that validates that approach. If you can get to 1700 like that, and you'll say, well, it's only 1700 and it's on an inflated site, etc. But if you can do that without really knowing openings at all or anything, imagine, like, oh, you're trying to tell me you can't get to 2000. Like, if you learn those things, that wouldn't make a difference of a couple hundred rating. Like, yes, it's a big deal, but if I really apply myself, I should probably be able to get to 18 anyway, the same way I'm doing things. And then it really validates it in a different sense. Not saying that you're so good, but saying that you are showing what the game is really like. You're kind of seeing through a lot of the contrivance that people talk about. I think we went through and looked at most of these in their 4-player. But no, I like this state of modern content. I was making this joke. My friend and, like, I have the two friends that make up the unholy trinity. So it's like, it used to be, if you're watching videos, you would never do that as a form of content. You just do that in your own time. Like, if you're bored, you watch random videos on YouTube, right? Scrolling. But now it's turned into, oh no, that's a legitimate form of content. Like, well, reacting to TikToks or, XQC and other people do that. XQC's hanging out with Donald Trump or something. So it's like, I always used to hate that. I even when I would do these long streams, I would take breaks and eat in between them. It's like, oh, I'm eating on stream, but I'm not really doing it just because I'm a clown. I'm doing it because, oh, it's ASMR mukbang. Like, you can get away with calling it a form of content now in this day and age because of how stupid everything is. So I forgot what I was actually on, or if I was even on a streak or something. Um. Best friends forever. It doesn't even show what happened though. Did I win? Did I lose? What what do you mean? I think I lost, but the rating doesn't even change, or like I resigned, so I just said I don't even know how that one works exactly, so we'll just let it go. So we're at like best friends forever. So where is that even? We might have to go like this. There are so fucking many of these though, and some of them are just made by random people on here. Best friends forever. Wait, but how come? I thought we had already passed Chaturanga earlier. What the fuck is going on? Okay, we've seen this. Yeah, this seems like it's out of order now from what we were at. Or, I mean, a lot of these we've passed before, but we had done this one. Okay, a lot of these we either couldn't do because they're 4-player, and I'm not going to wait for people. So, what we have now, Labyrinth 82, if it requires you to wait, for those, I'm not going to bother doing it, but that shows you. I guess there's just more than I thought. I was even saying, oh, we'll get through these really quick because I didn't think, whatever, even either I wouldn't do so well or I didn't think there'd be this many. So I thought I could use another site. But now I definitely won't do that because this has just gone on for a super long time and not even entirely to my credit. Right. If the streaks go on for a long time, I don't mind that. But collateral worlds, now, again, some of these they'll let you do against only one other person, like where you both control two side. So even if it's a 4-player thing, but this is confusing as hell because, and it's possible I've done one of these before too. I shouldn't assume just because it's 4-player that I haven't. You might think, oh, they have the 4 arrows, so obviously it's going to be 4-player, but it doesn't necessarily mean that. And you would think 960, I was saying this, yeah, it should be actually super popular. Didn't I already go through these and look at them? Phalanx, I made a joke about it. What the fuck? The 4 Horsemen, no, I'm playing that in Hearthstone. I don't need to play it in chess too. Or like the 4 Knights game. King Safety, 9, man, there's so many. I can't even figure out what the fuck. Standard shot. Yeah, that is fitting that it's the last one because that is what we'll move back to playing. We might actually already be done. Not that I want it to be done. There's got to be at least one more we can do, but I just did Best Friends Forever. We've done Chaturanga already. We've done that. Right. A lot of these are 4-player, and I'm not really sure that I understand because um if you can play it with one other person, I am obligated to at least try to do that. Sparks of Hope, Arena of Legends. Yeah, I like what they've done with this, with how many they have, and even some of them are again just made by like random people on the site. It seems like if they're good enough, they'll put them on here. Behind the scenes, I like that one behind the mirror. There's so many that I lost to before I really understood how they would work. Right, because they are so different and random and elaborate at times. But the funny thing with that is like you might think, oh, now the next time I do it, I'll totally be more experienced and know what I'm doing, but I'll have forgotten what little I learned or knew because I lost my first game probably and I only get to play, it's kind of unfair because not only are you playing it on like a surface level, just whatever, like you obviously have no idea what you're doing or you haven't studied or wait, what? Wait, how would it even know to do that? I don't get it. I don't have any I don't have anything set up here. I don't know what would have happened there. Glass Labyrinth. Yeah, just to embrace them and encourage people to snipe you by doing that, which or wait, are some of these actually working like that now? Oh, I don't know. This is too hard to fucking keep track of. Color blinds. Again, you would think they're all obviously 4-player, but some of them, like I said, have allowed me to do it a different way. The grasshopper is a bit of a mindfuck of a piece because of the way it jumps over a piece, but it can only jump directly after the piece that it goes to. And whatever, at least now we'll know which ones we can and can't do for next time, but that doesn't, I'm not going to remember that shit at all. Phalanx, Sergeant's Laboratory, we had been looking this one up. We'll just look through what we have here, and again, we'll return to LeChess and try to get to 1800, and then after that we can do this again, which, I mean, it would be meaningful, like, oh, that's a long journey to get 100 rating, but it is a lot actually to do here, so I'm not going to say that for sure. Simplicity, I didn't think it would really take this long, even if I did do well. Right, just the fact that there's so many. Surprise attack, or yeah, like everybody jokes about like, oh, ambush spawns like in chess, like how they have in Fire Emblem or like Fog of War and stuff. The Hive, the Hive is like some other game that I always think of that maybe I've never played, but it's like a board game or something else. I swear. The Triune Wasp, like what the fuck even are these, dude? Or yeah, this I was looking at this. What does that mean? If you play team starting position, the game is already over, so you can't play it. But then why give you the option? I'm so confused. Or like that would happen if I tried to edit and make my own variant with respect to, you know what I mean? Like if I made an illegal position that would make the game, assuming it would let you do that, it wouldn't let you start then because it would say that probably. Unison. I mean, the number of ones that are actually 4-player is fucking insane. Chaturanga alt teams. Like, isn't this? But isn't this what I was doing? I'm so confused. I thought I already played this, or maybe I was about. I'm completely lost. Actually, I thought that I just did this last time. Chaturanga alt teams. Chaturanga, and this at some point I did. Just not even part of this gauntlet. I did it just for the fuck of it. I don't know what June 17th, but what year is that? I mean, it wasn't this year, I don't think. This must have been some long time ago because I would do it just on and off whenever, not part of any sort of format. So this one we actually can do, and it's not showing that I did it or lost it or anything like that. June 25th. It shouldn't be so stark where like if I'm doing this I can only do this, or if I'm playing standard chess I can only do that. It doesn't have to be like that, but I don't know, it kind of makes sense because it's like a reward for hitting 100 threshold and then I go and do something else. You have Chaturanga all teams, so you only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, like 20 or so more, and of course Some of these we might have already done, and some of these might not appear if I put like a different letter. It's weird how I'm having to do this because a lot of them don't appear. So now if I put the letter B, something else will appear, right? That wasn't there before. So how would I even know that? Like it's gonna be impossible to figure out. Oh my god! Like I'd be so OCD as to do it. You would think A would encompass most of everything, but like when you put A, doesn't mean that I don't know. It's between the description. It's between what exactly? It doesn't have to start with an A. Like how would you know, man? See, something looked like it changed there. Something's like different, right? A, B, C, D, E, F, G. They all seem like they're kind of not changing, but there's way too many to look through. Whatever. I could just assume that that's all of them, and it's probably definitely not. And again, sometimes the hardest thing can be just to find a match, but it's not a case where why does it change like that then? Yeah, it would have to be something that I mean, most of the descriptions are gonna mention or have like the letter A in them, but how would I even be able to identify that? Like it'd be virtually impossible. So whatever, I'll be satisfied with that. We can try to figure it out in another thing. I guess I'm getting a little bit restless just with how long this has gone on for. Like if I just look at the letter B, I'm not even gonna remember which ones I've done and which I haven't. So how would I even know? Right? Standard chess doesn't have the letter B in it. So like why is it like if I just don't do anything, it won't show that many. So it makes no sense. So by putting in a random letter, it just shows you everything, but you don't really know that for sure. I think some of these I had done. And I love that this is even on the variants page. So we just have to wait, find a match. So we had 3 chances at a first playthrough permanent of the stall chest. When I did it the first time when it first came out, I played one game, I lost it, so I counted that as like a permanent. Then I did it again here, right in my return to doing this format, or in my, whatever, when I'm doing all the variants, because that one I just did isolated. And then I got another chance too. It was like the spell chest in the mini forest or whatever, right? And then I lost that one too, I think, in the first game to like the grasshopper or some shit. Kind of sad as somebody who loves playing mages and games and stuff anyway. Like every RPG, that's my class of choice. I guess I could look through some of these and see there is somebody looking here. So would that mean that well, Raji alt teams. So I don't understand fully how this works. Sometimes you feel like you're in a rush at the beginning, and the reason why is because I don't know, you don't want to abort or something. So you promote somewhere along the line, and I actually forget exactly how this works. This might have an increment or something though. What is the 15? Oh fuck. I didn't really mean to do that. Now you could bring it up to here. I don't know if it promotes at that stage, but I'm going to assume it doesn't. So you go to here and you have the ability to I don't really know. So this is one that I've often seen or played in a 4-player context. If you move the red there, I can't take it, but I'm assuming you can't promote it. I don't actually fully know how that works. You can't double push pawns either, because that would be way too crazy. Or, of course, you couldn't castle here. I'm pretty positive either. Just like how you can't do it in Chaturanga. It's basically Chaturanga, but it's not, because the bishop wouldn't be there, or whatever. Let's do this one. So we pin that down. That's a big play there. Now here we get to basically try to, you can try to bait it in such a way that if you took it with the pawn, I don't know, you did that very fast. If you take it, I take it. You got to put pressure on the thing, but there's no good way to actually do that. right, with anything else. And this isn't covered myself, so in case something goes wrong, it could fuck me over too. You can push this like right into the king's face for what it's worth. You can go here, I guess, although if you push me out, I don't know. As much as I typically like to trade, this is perhaps not the best way of doing it. You go here into there. Now, if I do this, you'll take, I'll take, and it'll be fine. If you take, I take. If you don't take, now, aren't I getting close to promotion territory? And you'd at least have to move this stupid ass knight. You probably will take. I probably will take. And if I take with the knight, it doesn't really do anything very strong for me. This pawn, if it moves, could hit this, which doesn't actually do a ton either. Wait, what? Wait. This is like a teamwork play, though, where you get to... okay, it's not a huge deal, but what I can do is I can go here. And so now, if you... oh, I don't know. It is very confusing in that context of how you would try to... you know, the interplay between the pieces. Like, he did it so masterfully that at least we get to see an interaction of that caliber. Now you'll move both in a way that somehow synergizes with each other. I didn't really want the increment. I guess it just does that by default, and I forgot to take it off. Self-partner game, you must play both sides of the team, which I like that. They should almost have that for every single one possible. You got red and that, and again, they don't really cover each other, but they do in the sense that, you know what I mean? Like, I guess they do. It's just... so you can't do that. That's a little confusing to think. Oh, you can only take in the direction you're moving, which makes sense, but... you could give a check from here, which is kind of irritating. But I guess I could keep running. So we're moving as this, and so what I can do now is I can basically just... you would have this, right? And so the problem becomes that we have... all you would have to do is attack it. And the reason why you'd have to attack it is because it's already pinned down. And so you could almost do like, I would take, he would take. I'm not going to do it like that, but you could almost do that. Because now that's all you would really have to do, but he's going to come up with some god level thing. But what can you really do to cover this is a big question. And the answer is you can go here, and I can go here, and it doesn't really matter. But you can't move this if you move it away, I take. If you don't, you can't cover it very easily. So I should basically win the knight. Right, that's a pretty good sequence. He made a very good sequence earlier, though. This is one of the last ones we're going to get to play, so I better make it count. Even though there's like 20 more left. A lot of them you might not really be able to play. So we're playing as blue. You cover that, which doesn't bother me at all. And so what we can do now is you can basically try to keep a low profile with blue and just I don't even know if I want to do anything here. Really, I don't really want to do anything. Let's just focus on this. So now that thing should be dead, right? So he makes a mistake despite playing generally well. I don't see any way that he can deal with that because even if you move the king away, you just lose it. Right, so that's a very tough spot. Wait a second, what? But why would you even do that? What is the king even worth in this context? And you won't even get anything back for it, so... you can check me here. I can still react and just be just fine. Instead of losing the knight, of course, you sacrifice your king, which I'm not sure what that means. It doesn't mean that I win the game, but it would be... it means that the green pieces become inactive, right? Because Game ends when a king is captured. Oh no, when a king, so it should still work. Um, does that mean I just win? I just win. King captures 0-1, so you can capture either king. So that in itself is good. Okay, let me try to get rid of the increment. I thought I didn't have it though. Why did it say 10 plus 15? I know it was doing it. Whatever. So we have this. I was trying to actually see in the meantime while I wait. Um. Okay, I guess is it gonna be the same guy or what? We try to go like this. We bring the bishop. So he's blue. The positions being different every time kind of confuses me though. See, it's not the same even. I was here and here. Now I'm here and there. Like and I move once and he moves twice in a row. But then I guess I'll move twice in a row finally. Um. Go like this. I don't know. Like you end up almost bearing down on the rook if you do it the right way. But no, I like this way of, you can potentially do this with any 4-player variant if you simply just, and this is the problem too. Oh, it's only a 10-minute game, so the longest it could take is 20 minutes, but it could take 40 minutes because one single thing is, you know what I mean? Like you're counting as both teams. What are you doing, dude? Not trying to be a dick, but and I'm the type who never gets mad at that either, because on one hand, I'm always so slow, although I haven't been as slow as I should in some of these, but what it means is a simple fact that you're basically able to, it means that you get a time advantage. So go ahead and take as long as you want, or if you're going to flag, go ahead. I don't care. Like, I don't know actually where the promotion happens. I have no idea, but he's at least working at it. Doesn't mean I can just take that for free, though, now. Now you can basically go here and then go here. He hasn't developed in any sort of meaningful way yet. So I'm the two bottom pieces, which is different. You might say, oh, it's always like that, but it is actually different than the way that this typically goes. You go ahead, you take there, you're attacking 2 knights, and then you get out of there as well. And so now you can trade or trade, not that I necessarily want to. I always value the bishop higher. Or here's a good rationalization to explain why the bishop is always better than the knight. In an average normal chess game, the bishop is going to attack way more squares at any given time, right? It's always going to hit like, just think about the basic math. Let's go to standard chess, right? The bishop is going to hit how many squares, right? Let's say it's here, just in a basic normal position that's not that hard to get. It is hitting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 squares, right? Potentially. And so the point is, even if it gets blocked off or something like that, it's hitting a good number of squares, and the majority of them are always going to be on enemy territory, even because that's the whole point of, you're not relying on it being defensive minded. Whereas the knight is going to be like, let's say, in the middle of the board somewhere, like even here, if it's not an optimal octopus knight position, yes, it's hitting like 8 squares, but the majority of them are on your own territory, making like a defensive limited piece, whereas the bishop could be affecting the whole board. And so it's only really hitting 2 or 3 meaningful squares unless you get it in the optimal position. And I hate when people bring that up too, like, oh, well, in this kind of close position or whatever, it's really good. But the problem is that the reason why that doesn't work as an argument is because when you're measuring a piece value, you're assuming it in every position throughout millions of games, right? And all things encompassed. So you're not saying with a bishop, I don't need to say, oh, in an open position with a bishop pair. I just say a bishop period, and people know what I mean. Like on average, it's really good. On average, you're going to get a good position with it. You're not always going to get a bishop pair. It's not always going to be the best, but you're accounting for the best case and the worst case. But with the knight, everybody gets overly defensive, which is sort of a concession of its faults. Like, oh, but in an Octopus Knight position, or in an ideal position, in a closed structure position, in an end game with Magnus from 15 years ago, there was this one spectacular game with the Knight. Like, you wouldn't need to qualify it that way with the Bishop. You just say it's just really good, right? And you're accounting for the best and the worst case. It has strengths and weaknesses. But with the Knight, people try to qualify it so specifically, like, oh, well, you have this. In the best case scenario. But what about all the other cases? What about all the other moves? What about the fact that you often have to trade one off because there's no reason to ever have two? There is no real such thing as the Knight pair. You rely on the Octopus Knight, which maybe isn't as hard to get as I think, but even accounting for you getting it on a regular basis as much as possible, it's still not. See, that's even conceding its value, though, is like, well, you trade off one knight because having two is useless, and then one is going to be good as an Octopus Knight. But that already shows you it's inferior to the bishop because you wouldn't feel the need to trade off the bishop in the same way. Now I'm on these two. I don't know. I hate that part that it keeps fucking rotating it. Or what can happen is you end up farming the same people because they're basically just. My whole mindset is just let's just get that long diagonal with the bishop, and I'm happy with it. Everything else can just be like negligible to me. I'm not entirely sure where the promotions happen, and so therefore you go like this, you go like this, perfectly fine. They can somehow get this to trade off, right? That can be very dangerous, but I don't fully understand how that even happens. So you bring it to here, bring it to here, so you can see my novelty for the bishop. You're already fucking up and blocking yours in a bit too much. And so now you're basically in a position where you get to the knight. I'm kind of struggling to use, and it's not even my own peevishness against it. It's like it gets threatened maybe too easily that way. So now you have something a little bit annoying to have to deal with. You open this up. I can take the knight anytime I want. If this moves, I can obviously take the rook. So if you lose either of your kings, it counts as a loss, right? It doesn't even matter about anything else. So if you bring the thing out, I don't know really why I'm doing this, but it's okay to block your diagonal sometimes, I guess. There's no like good forking opportunities that ever really are presenting themselves with this, starting position. Like, what are you really gonna fork there? So you bring it to here. That's an interesting move, and now you have some issue with, that's a scary move because you're basically forking the kings. But the reason why you can do that, you could take that, I guess, and I don't understand, right? Like, because he's moving this way, so that is right, but mine can't. Like, when would this position ever occur in normal chess? Let me go here, or the more you try to do with the knight, the more it can just sometimes fuck things up. So you have a long diagonal, you have another good diagonal here. You have the ability to fork in that way if this pawn goes, but I don't know. Bring the knight, you can take. You got to just think like the way that it's moving is the only way it can take. So it's like it looks like, oh, you could take here, but okay. So what is he brings a light square bishop, so I can go like this and there's no real threat to me that I can see. Right, like that's perfectly fine, although I'm a little bit confused about it. There's no good opening for the knight. Right, if I could take something that would allow you to take there. I can try to attack the bishop itself. And now he's trying to set up something like, oh, he could go here and he'll get one king or the other, which if I had a cover, that would actually be true. If you go here with the knight and then there, then I have no choice but to give one up. Bro. I'm almost willing to do that. In fact, I can do it. Because again, guess what happens? If you take... No, but I'll be in check. I'll be in check because you'll take... Then I'll take... I don't know. I would take, you would take, I would take, you would take, I would still take. I'm very confused and bothered by this whole position, but there's not much we can do about it. And again, the knights aren't doing fuck all for me. Because this is what happens. The knight ends up just getting bullied around, basically. Where it just becomes a liability, almost like the king, where you're getting checked with it. Like if I go here, then you go here. This pawn push there was interesting, and now I could do this 100%. And the reason why I could do it 100% is because obviously if you take, I take the rook, no cover. And so if you go here, that would be probably the best move. Now you can cover that back, but so what? So my blue king is not in the greatest spot, and the reason why is because you'll go like there, let's say, and if you do that, then there is some danger here. So you give a check, I move with the king, and you don't have the greatest light square follow-up, so I guess I can do it, but I'll try to just trade it, period. You go there, I don't know. No, but that might be the only spot I want to go. You could go like this and then sort of indicate that if he goes there, I'm going to take it, but then you'd still be able to do it. And then I go here, and then if the bishop could attack it, that could be... Or no, I can't even go there. Oh shit, I might just lose if you do that, because you get to... I think I just lose if he sees it. You just go there, I take, you take... No, but I can... I can go there after, and I can just go there after, right? You go there, I take, you take, I go here. And even though it's not ideal, I should still be able to do it. I don't know. That seems like a bad idea. Let me just give a random fucking check to his king, I guess. You can always do that like in desperation. Like he would have mate here, but it doesn't matter because if he goes for it, then I'll kill him first. And in fact, he might actually be mate. Man, why am I so slow? Like with my... I just never take anything seriously. Like that really is a mate, and there was nothing he could do, and I wasn't doing it for that reason, and I didn't even see it. Like it is like a lack of effort that I always put. His green king is just dead. It doesn't even matter what he does in the next turn. Like I can just do it. Right? Like you're just dead. There's nothing you can do now unless you were to capture it with a red piece that would save you. So if I'm not mistaken, I mean I can still do it. Right? Because blue is not doing anything anyway. But what you can do is you can basically do that. That's not too bad. Now we're gonna go on a crazy win streak because whatever. I don't want to feel like I'm rushing it, but that's the good thing with these permadeath sort of gauntlets. And again, I do this in all kind of other multiplayer games. I'm doing it in Smite right now. The only way that a character goes on for a super long time, where you might actually get bored or whatever, you might get sick of them. But the only reason why you're playing them for that long is if you're going on a crazy win streak. Like, oh, I played as Cerebrus for 20 games just because not that I have here, but you know, you're only doing that if you go on a really good streak. So then you kind of, it's a good reason and you get sort of attached to them, or it kind of grows on you. Or if you don't do that, then you know, you're losing and you're getting variety. So either way, it's a win. You either really get familiar and really start to like a character because you're going on a good streak with it, or you lose and you get variety. So either way, it's kind of a good thing. Yeah, I don't mind this one, although some of my, like I said, my calculation is very sloppy, where I'm just not even trying. Like, I had a mate there that I had no notion. I guess I just always assume it's not there. Like, why would you think there's a mate there? But that's the hardest thing, or that's the whole philosophical way to look at it. The truly great players won't need to look for something, right? You don't need to look specifically for that to see it. You just look for everything or anything that's there. But it's easier to say that because a lot of the time you're just, you're trying to minimize the effort you put in, and like, or at least that's how I play. You don't really want to think too hard and have to do that. Just I'll only think when it really feels like, oh, it's super obvious or a clear attack. Because I obviously didn't intend it. It's like, oh, that's not why I created that position. But in a lot of these variants, that's what you'll realize is the fact that it's basically like there'll be a lot of weird trick mates and plays out of the opening. And you might say, oh, that can be true in chess too, but it's usually not so quick. You can get mated in like 3 moves in some of these, like the mini forest, if you just make the wrong sequence. Right, because there's all these weird tricks that you'll have no idea how they work. I mean, I guess you could say, oh, like the scholar's mate. It just feels like it's less common or it's less obvious here because you might not even know how the pieces move or the position is so irregular that it'll be sort of imbalanced. Like if I make 1 or 2 moves wrong, just some basic, like if I do this and then this, something, whatever, right? Some simple sequence of moves. Oh, I get mated in like 4 moves just because the position, again, is so unusual that it's not perfectly balanced. Not that regular chess is at all either, but that's always the fallacy that, oh, chess is so complicated. Also, um, I guess I could rotate so that I always appear in the same two, but you would say like, oh, chess is so complicated, but any game that happens in real time is more complicated objectively because every second there's more possibilities, or any game that's more than an 8x8 board or with more variety of pieces, or even sometimes with less variety of pieces, like Go has such a potential complexity to it. But no, there's that, and then there's also the fallacy of like, there's the fallacy of basically being it's that shows you how cheap I am, actually. Like, I've been doing this for like 2 months, but I refuse to subscribe to premium, and I don't have to. But there's no benefit it would give me. Well, are there like certain, you can't really analyze these anyway, I guess, right? Because no, I guess you kind of can, but it doesn't work super well with the engine, nor do I really care to do that. And so the only reason why I would do it is because of ads. Or again, why would I do it normally even if I played on here in like regular chess? I guess just to analyze an infinite number of games. But no, chess is so complex. Also, any game with, more pieces, more squares on the board, and any other dynamic or real time is going to be more complicated. And also, oh, it's a game of infinite possibilities. Also, you should play it this exact way and this way only. Like, you should do openings, and there's only one right move and wrong move for every position, and it's basically a softly solved game. And so, therefore, it's like, oh, it's so good because it has infinite possibilities, but then people bog it down and don't really appreciate or play it like that. And then finally, the last element is it's so balanced, it's perfectly balanced, the perfect game. Also, white has an objective advantage in the opening. It might not be a huge one, but that's what it could come down to, right? If you play at such an even level, it's not a very significant advantage, but that's how, when you're talking about competitive play, they'll squeeze the water from the stone, and like, oh wow, any semblance of winning will come down to that minor advantage because that's how tight it is. So I'm blue and yellow. I like this whole bishop treatment at the beginning. That's kind of all I'm trying to do. No, but if I took this more seriously or in the right hands, this shit could take literally a year by itself. So I almost can't do this, every time. Because I'll only get better and better. See, like, that's already dangerous. That is extremely dangerous. In fact, I might already be fucking dead. Because you'd, like, bring the thing... Um... you'd bring a pawn or something and I'm just fucked, right? I was just talking about these sort of trick plays even. If you go here, then what do? I can't do anything. I would have to attack one of his kings quickly. And if I can do that, then he's going to go there, and I already know it, and I can't really stop it. I'd have to attack his king, like, right now, is the thing. Or, like, even here, you know, oh, I could block, but I can't block because it's too late if you just do that. Fucker. Because now the knight gets me that I'm dead. I'm dead, and I can't even threaten his king. So let's assume I'm gonna die, but then I would die first. Oh no, I guess not, because fucking annoying. I'm not, because I can do this. Now, even if that means that I might lose the bishop or something, it's still worth it. I'm so confused, actually, as to what happened. But this is what I mean. You can get this weird thing where you're basically almost getting mated just out of the opening. So if you go here, okay, I mean, I can't worry about that when I'm already getting fucked. I have no idea what to do now. You bring it to here, you bring it to here. It's still not a mate because you can go there. So now blue is in some trouble. These fucking pawns, man. Is that a mistake, though, or is that all part of his master plan? Because, you know? Or wait, no, I can't even do that. Wait, we can get that king out of there, and now I almost want to... You got a rook for free, basically. This one, if you take, I take, so at least that's worth it. And even worse, you take, I take, and then it could turn into where I get to take that too. So now, the blue king is under major threat. I did at least save it from dying. The best way to save it maybe is to attack something, but it wouldn't matter because they would get the chance. If they're threatening it first, then they can take it first too. These fucking pawns, man. What is this shit, dude? You have to go basically here. You don't really have much of a choice. Now, if he takes, I take, check, and then take, but then you block, I guess, so it's not a big deal. But no, we haven't really seen promotions play out, so I don't really know how that works. Now, you'd be able to, like, double take or something, because if I took, then I lose the rook. If I go here, you take, I take, you take. So now we have blue, and we can pin it, but we can't really do it because... You can go like this, and it's like, oh, it's almost like it's trapped, but then how do I even attack it is the question. Right, so it seems cute, and maybe he made a mistake by not getting it out of there. So if I take, I lose the rook, so I can't take. But I also don't know. Like, I could go here, I guess. So if he takes, I take. If he takes... If he takes, I take. If he takes, I still take, but it kind of pins my own thing down, too. Okay. Clearly, this guy is just a god and fucking whatever, dude. I'm gonna get mated in here probably somehow. Like, his pawn play is really just mind-boggling. You could take this and at least have adequate cover for that. You could take this, I can't take back. The way to try to claw your way back in would be to actually take the bishop. You know, if if I could basically trap the bishop in there, I don't know why these kings are all sitting next to each other like this. So you go ahead and you try to... Everything seems pretty much fair. The only problem is that I'm like down a pawn at least, and I'm down a... Or maybe I'm not even down the pawn, but I'm down the rook, which was It was a good play because I'm about to get mated, so there's not much I can really do. And so therefore, okay, that you could have done all along anyway. You go like here and you check and you cover that. Now we're moving as yellow, but I don't know how to do this because I can keep trying to push my luck here, but I don't know what it's really doing for me. If you take, I can't even take back. Like, what the fuck am I doing? This was seeming like it could be a long streak because I was actually doing fine. And again, you might say, "Oh, your bottom feed are picking on people who have never played it before," but I haven't. I mean, I guess I played it a little bit, like in the 4-player one, but the +6 for him, obviously. Bishops are counted for. Queens is 10. I like that little balancing icon too. You should use that in regular games too. Bishops are counted as 4. I agree with that. So knights should be counted as 3 because they suck. And actually, queens should be 9, aren't they? Or wait, maybe I'm wrong with how the orientation of this works. They're going that way, so of course they can't take like that. So I could give a check, but he could easily take, so I'm not really sure. Like, would I really have to get it there to promote? Because that'd be virtually impossible. You bring the red thing here, you're trying to take that. It is adequately covered thanks to the knight itself. So we have blue to be able to move, and I don't know how to really do anything with this. The light square bishop, I don't know what it really could have done. So we could push our limits here a little bit, but I don't know why. There's nothing I'm really attacking. Like, I'm kind of just sitting there and it's sort of stale. Like, even a move like this, I'll admit, I don't really have a plan, and I'm just doing it just to do it. So I would take, they would take, I would take, they would take, I would still take. Now you're trying to attack one of these, but you really can't do it adequately. So I have to figure out how can I attack the bishop itself, or it's going to force the trade, I guess is the whole point. And now you're going to put so much pressure that I have no choice but to do it. Or maybe it could get trapped in a different way here, but not really. So you're double attacking that, but it's adequately covered. It would have been adequately covered, in fact, anyway. Or maybe not. Okay, we have this. Let me see. You could pin this down, I guess, and give up on the other thing. Why didn't I think of that like an hour ago? That's how we did so well in the other game. But when I'm already down a rook, like, how do you just do that? What kind of a madman is this that you would just oh yeah, you're just up a rook early, and I was almost about to get mated. Like, it can happen just sort of dynamically, but you're gonna give up that then. Like, you're objectively giving up the thing. The blue is here, so what I can do with blue is I can decide to try to trap that, which I really can't do though. You're threatening like the little dinky thing here, the pawn itself. And the reason why is because you can take this and check, if I'm not mistaken. And so I guess they just made a mistake there, or maybe there's nothing they could do about it, or uh this is mine, this is mine, this is there. So if you look at the piece left now, they're still +4, but how? How are they +4? They check there, so blue obviously has to move. Is there something that they get out of doing this aside from potentially forcing a threefold repetition? And the answer is, it doesn't really seem like it. You should be able to do this. You could go with the red one there, but mine's not going to be there when the time comes. So you go here and you take and you check. And now you can move it and it would just create an exchange sort of position. So it's not like a big deal, right? Where you could do the trade and I wouldn't want to do the trade. We're attacking this and it is covered though. Now, I can't afford to lose the rook because it's really the only thing I have. Right, they have 2 rooks. They're attacking this. This is where the knight's gotta be some sort of crazy clutch piece, but they would take that, I would take back. They would check, I would go there, but it wouldn't change the fact that it's still covered. So I maybe could do this. Do this, and then consider whether you wanna do this thing or not with the actual rook. Like, what do I actually wanna do with it? If I take, you'll take. And then if I could get like a fork on the kings or something, it'd be worth it, but I can't. Um, this is a perfect move, but you can't do it. There's no reason why I should ever do that. Right, because of the simple fact that it's the only thing I actually have. So their only piece here in the vicinity is the knight itself, and it is the red knight. These are both mine. This is in a good position. You know, this is an octopus knight in this kind of game. This is okay because you're not really doing anything with it anyway. Um, you have to move that, and there's only one square to move it to. And then from there, I have to move this, or at least... Oh, but you get forked. You do actually get forked. See, for all intents and purposes, it's the same thing. And the reason why is because you're not really in check, so you can move something else. But if you do that, then you still lose. So, you know what I mean? It's like a consensual check situation. If you really want to just let yourself die, you can. You can make an illegal move like in shogi, you know, whatever. So that could be the damn. This guy fucking pushed me to my limit though. Like, look at him. Look at this god level random fucking 1591 player. So now we have a chance because we take the rook. So I'm not even really up because of that, because he's still gonna get compensation, but like, I love, maybe it's just my problem that I always underestimate people to a certain degree, but it's like, and now he's setting up for a mate that I surely won't be able to stop in some stupid ass way, because you get to um oh, but now I win guaranteed, because forget about the other fork. Oh, I actually get to fork. Couldn't I have done that before then, or what? Oh no, it's one fork that... Oh wow. Wow, dude. Now it doesn't matter because it's too late, right? You're guaranteed to die because it doesn't even matter about the fork. You're guaranteed. Even if you give an unsolvable check, you're already gone. I can just pre-move it. Or no, I guess you can... Wait, but... Oh no. Oh no, you can escape a double fork because you... Wait, what? You can escape a double fork because you can move both pieces, of course. I should have known that. What the fuck is that? That shouldn't even be possible. I guess I don't have much of a choice here. I'm very confused as to what happened. How do you not win when you have that? And now you can't go there. You can't do anything with that. The knight can't do a whole lot here. So the material has been evened out. I like my willingness to fight through that though. That was very, you know, that was a very difficult, you know, oppressive kind of game. Evidently a very strong opponent, which I'm always stunned by, which maybe I shouldn't be. Like, it's just a random fucking variant, bro. You're 1591. Like, it's not that serious, but says me. But see, at least psychologically, that's the point. I'm playing for my life. If I lose this, I can't play it again, and I might not play it again for a super, super long time. At least I'm playing for something. This guy's presumably just playing. So that in itself will give me the strength. That's why I do it. It's like a psychological trick. Almost, you could do it again, but I don't understand. Like, how can you keep mitigating that? It doesn't make sense. Oh, it's so frustrating. I'm forking your fucking kings, but I can't get compensation. Are you serious? Like, okay, okay, if you go here, how can you avoid all of it? How can you just avoid everything? Like, how? To cheat death is a power only one has achieved, and it's literally this fucking guy. Like, how do you do it? How? It's impossible. It's impossible. Ah. I get a pawn. I'm so upset. I'm still winning, but so basically, it's not possible to fucking do anything. I don't know. I'll just keep doing this. We'll get a threefold repetition. Like, how are you getting forked and you're still not losing anything? That's not how forks work, dude. It worked in the other way, like when I got the rook, right? So how does that make sense? Oh yeah, now he's really gonna try to promote or some shit on the other way. So how do I do this? And the answer is I have no idea, but I can do a couple pawn checks and be annoying like he was being before. So I go here, it's covered adequately. I could also go here and it's covered adequately, but why can't I do that? Why can't I do it? Oh, it's what? I don't even know how my own pawns move, I guess. So now, once again, we're posing a double threat on the king, to which he will soundly respond by doing whatever the fuck he wants because he cannot be killed. Like, what is this that I'm playing right now, dude? This guy's just not meant to lose, I guess. It's just too much. Bro. I'd rather not even go for that. We're gonna double attack this. At least that he can't stop because the stupid ass rook or the knight won't be able to come in. So we're double attacking the pawn and we'll win that at the very least. And so what we can do now is we can basically try to... I feel like I'm going to end up trapping my shit in here in a way that I don't want to do, but let's just go ahead. I don't know. Like, it frustrates you to the point where you almost give up because I'm not losing, but I don't get it. I just don't get it. You do that, you're going to promote. I don't care. The blue, we can try to promote maybe off to here. Okay, we are up a couple pawns. We're up +3 pawns. And I can't take this one. It's very confusing actually to keep track of how the pawns move. Like, these ones are going this way, these ones are going this way. You know, it makes sense once you think about like, okay, you're starting here, so you're trying to march to that side. But yeah, I'm pretty low on time as well. Let me just try to keep going with that, I guess, and then we also get to move with here. And so now it doesn't matter too much. I'm not seeing really where they can like threaten me, right? But all it would take is like one threat and I'm going to be trapped in somehow. So I'm going to try to promote here. I don't know what my knight is really doing. The rook is restricted in its movement. Their knight has been really badly restricted for a long time. So we're playing as blue. We're going to try to push it all the way. And I could use my king to maybe do it. I don't think he could really get stalemated, or maybe he already is. But no, it's not that kind of game, right? Because you can just it would be stalemate basically. You know what, dude, if he's destined to do it. But no, I think you're forced to just move into a take now, right? You have to let yourself get taken because it's not the kind of game where you're even in check. So how can there be stalemates in a game without checks? I don't even know if you can still promote actually. So now all you have, I'll let the king actually do the honors. See, that one doesn't matter because of the simple fact that, well, even if you could take that back, you wouldn't be able to do it in time. So that one was an inspiring victory. At least I'm killing any notion that, oh, you're trying to end this on purpose because whatever, we're close to the end or something. But that was a true remarkable effort because look at how the game starts. Look at this sequence of moves. My king is actually fucking trapped and mated, basically, right? There's nothing I can do. There's nowhere I can go because if you go here, you get hit by the pawn, right? And then we just lose the game already. You're already dead, right? You actually are mated, but you go there. Now, why couldn't you, for example, go here and then I guess they could move away, and then something else can happen. But because of that, they get the rook, and then somehow we get back in there, which I won't even say is entirely to my credit, but at least that is a very interesting game. And you're able to do it only because you're able to yeah, the pawn movement is going to be confusing, but you got to stick with it. And he forces the trade there sharply, which I can't deny is good. But it's only here he allows the fork, and I don't know exactly how he allows it. He goes like there. Now we do the fork onto the you do the fork there, and then it still works in that sense. But then we fork the kings, and that somehow doesn't do something, and then I start to get pissed. Right, like how does forking the kings not guarantee that you take one or the other? But it's because you can move both of them. So I guess that's why, you fork the two green pieces because you can't move two of the same one. But this sort of subverts the way that forking is supposed to work. So it makes the knights even worse. If I fork your red king and your green king, it doesn't matter because you can get to move both of them. So the whole interplay between, working together with your pieces, even this is actually fascinating because, this could really take off as a form of chess because you're playing 4-player chess where you're controlling 2 boards, but you know what I mean? You're doing them yourself. So it's a 1v1, but it's also a 2v2. So it kind of makes sense because the way that you get your pieces to sort of work together is very valuable, and there's a lot of strategy to it. I almost don't even know if I can handle another one now. Right? That's one of those where it's a peaks and valleys sort of moment. After that one, you'll be so overconfident, like, oh, I can handle anything, that I'll end up losing, or that one is gonna burn you out and exhaust you, so now you'll lose because of that. Let's just maybe look. I'm not gonna actually play these, but let's look. This one says teams, and even if I get in one, I'll abort or something. But this one you are able to do. I just don't want somebody to join like immediately or something. I just want to see like which ones can I actually do. So that one you can do apparently. Any one that you can do without seeing the 4-player arrow. So it seems like most of these you can do. Maybe that's what this icon even means compared to the one that's the 4-player only thing. Somebody's totally going to join in like a millisecond and troll me. So we do have a lot left. Like I have no... Maybe I could do it simultaneous because I have an urge to kind of play just regular chess. Why shouldn't I be allowed to do that? I kind of just want to use this as a break though. I guess I played it in some form, maybe against viewers or maybe in that little mobile game shit, but I haven't actually touched my chess account since then. And clearly it's because I'm trying to create like some sort of weird I'm trying to create some kind of weird like provisional basis, so when I go back to play and if I win a couple games, I will actually be able to do it in such a way that whatever, it'll give me a substantial boost, or it'll give me a substantial penalty if I decide to. So all of these, I'm assuming you're controlling the team yourself, right? So he's giving you that option, which I like. Like, oh no, this game isn't multiplayer only. It lets you play solo if you want. Also, the act of playing solo means that you have to control the other fucking team, right? That another player would, like an actual... I saw this good thing, petition to make online games, whatever, in like the UK, require video game publishers to keep games they have sold in a working state. Right, I do like this. Government responded, those selling games must comply with UK consumer law, clear information, and allow continued access to game if sold on the understanding that they will remain playable indefinitely. This response was given on 2nd of May. Must comply with law. Provide clear information, but I love this. This guy is a hero, and I wish they had this in the United States. Like, you know what I mean? There's something... Revised response. Clear information allowed continue access to games if sold on the understanding that they will... But see, that's why they'll say, oh, it's not. It's online only or whatever. Because it addresses actually a lot of key points. Like, games must not be made and sold that can't be played indefinitely. But the whole point is it's like a buyer beware thing. If you if you do it in such a way that, what the fuck does that mean? Selected setup is not active. Um, what it means is that uh you can just say when the game comes out, it's like in the fine print that, oh, one day this could go offline and you might never be able to play it again, and all the money and time you spent on it is just down the drain. And so it's your choice. Then don't play it then if you don't want to. But you know what I mean? Like, it is your choice and you're aware of that. But I always complain about that. And people might say, well, if you want to play it, just play it. But there's like a million games out there. So I might not have gotten around to playing that one. Or, you know what I mean? I might only play it here and there, but then I want to go back. That was like the biggest peace of mind issue that I had. Like, when I was playing WoW, right? Like, you play WoW Classic and then BC and then Wrath. Then I have an urge. I want to go back and play Classic just because there's stuff I didn't do or I didn't play it, enough or whatever, right? I didn't play this particular class I wanted to play or whatever. And so the point is that, so anti-tower is the only one I see here that's not 4-player. Giveaway anti-tower. I can't even read what the fuck this shit is. But no, you'll have this like peace of mind that, one of your favorite games ever, one of the best games ever made, you can never play it again just because it goes offline. Like, I get it, but what is it telling me about the setup? The selected setup is not currently active. I don't understand. Help us explore the active setup and win prizes in qualifying arenas. What is the difference? The king and the queen basically just switch? I guess I don't really care which one you would do. It really wouldn't make any difference to me. I think I've already done this one too. Self-partnering. Self-partnering on July 5th, right? So that was one that was maybe part of the archive or whatever. So yeah, we have a lot of these left to do, and okay, I'll take a minute and then I'll do it again, though, the same one that we're on. So we are close to the end, so I shouldn't get too discouraged. Like, we can do basically all of these. So let me actually count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Right, so you have 15, and then you have, I guess you could almost do the, 15, maybe like a couple of these, 15, 16, 17, 18, right? There's a fucking lot. I mean, I couldn't even count, like, how many have I really... Techie giveaway, Techie setup. What is that one? Techie self-partnering. I don't think I've done that. If you were to count how many I've actually done, it's insane. It's been at least a couple months. Yeah, Wounded Knight leaps highest furthest because we have to make sure we make these count now. Not that I shouldn't have been doing that from the start, but it is sort of overwhelming. As somebody who likes variants more than even regular chess, and this was originally what I wanted to do, it seems weird that, I would get... There's got to be a way where I can sort of do it concurrently, but I just don't think like that. I want it to be one extreme or the other. It's alright, I'll do it like this time, and then I'll decide the next time what I want to do, 100 rating later, which might not be too far along the line. That was always a good showing for the effort. See, that's one of those games you have to ask yourself, like, it's not about ability, it's like, how badly do you really want to win? Because if you could easily have just folded and given up there, and that's it. Right, but I was so persistent, I was not giving up. There's no guarantee that I would win if he played like that too, but, just somehow we survived a pretty rough opening. There's so many things that visually confuse you with this one, though. Like, you're using different ones, which I could rotate, but it's fine. I don't want to. And then, even just the way the pawns move, like, this one is going from left to right. This one's going from top to bottom, bottom to top, right to left. Like, it's just... These two make sense, but the other two are completely... It makes sense, too, again, based on how the board is set up. But no, I do love this dynamic of a 2-player one that you can play by yourself, which seems weird, but you're still playing it against somebody, but you both control two sides. So there should always be that option in all of these 4-player ones, right? Because whatever the other player would be doing that you're playing with, you could just do yourself, or I guess it could be controlled by AI or something. So I'll do all these and then I'll make my own too. I don't even know what I want to make. I don't know if it lets you like change the board size and stuff. It will, but no, I'll make my own and do it as like the grand finale. No, I guess I could do it as a side series. Like it doesn't mean you have to do it only like this, but I did not think this would be an all-consuming thing because again, that's the implication. If I did better at some of these, this could literally go on for a year by it fucking self, which is fine, but there is a certain pace that I want to go at with that or whatever, but again, any excuse not to play regular chess is a good thing, but or I could just play in some other form. I guess I wouldn't play on lit chess and try to ladder there. I could just play like somewhere else, like how I was playing these stupid ass mobile games. And I lost like some 1100, which is a shocking moment in chess history because I don't know how the fuck that happens. In some mobile stupid game with like these cute little animations, I forget what it was even called. You know, chess mobile game Gauntlet, where I'm going through every single one on there until I lose a game in each one. I guess I don't even notice the ads half the time, but I don't like really having them there. But I'm not going to waste money subscribing into this, especially when I don't even need it. Right, what am I going to use it to analyze variants that I'm not even trying to really study or learn anyway? But, and the analysis might not even fully work, so what's the point? Right, like, oh, you know, you could, that's what I don't like. Oh, theory kind of ruins chess, but it really doesn't because you could do that with anything. Any one of these variants, you could come up with the best optimal line of moves. So to hold that against the game just because people take it so seriously is stupid. It's like what people do with some of these MMOs, like, oh, you know, everybody knows how to do Nax 40 in Classic WoW now, but that's after 20 years of knowledge base and farming and optimization and private servers and all this kind of stuff. Right, it's not fair to say that because you could do that with anything. Okay, Ocarina of Time sucks as a game because everything could be speedrun and metagamed and it's so easy and like that doesn't make a game bad. Right, just because people take it so seriously is almost validating, but just realize that you could do that with any game. And that's why chess in some ways is inherently flawed or any turn-based game because anything that happens in real time you can metagame a real-time game as much as you want, like a sport, right? Like, oh, this is the optimal way to do it, but you still have to physically do it. You know what I mean? In reaction time and real time. So that's different than even in, you know, video games like Counter-Strike. Oh, the optimal way to aim is to do this, but you know what I mean? You still have to do the actual action that you're talking about in a split second. So it's different. Like you could know exactly what to do, but oh, I like that guy's icon. You could know exactly what to do in the optimal strategy. However, you would not be able to do it like that. Like, it doesn't mean you'd be able to execute it. Whereas in chess, if you know exactly what to do, you could just do it, right? There is no, unless you want to say, oh, you got to play a bullet and blitz and do it fast enough. But it's like either you know or you don't. That's all there is to it. So this dude's trying to play with his knights, which I don't think is very good. Whatever that person did there was very impressive, but I don't fully understand it. Like, what would be my equivalent of doing that? I would go here, and then it almost seems like what I'm trying to do, but it's not. Right? He was doing like almost some opening gambit trick, but we're 1634, so you better be intimidated. But again, I'm not really. These are my first 3 games of it that I've maybe ever played, or not really. But it's not like I'm an expert. I played it again sometimes in the 4-player mode. So there's something with this that can happen, and I'm not really sure. This is setting up to attack potentially the rook, but it doesn't actually ever happen. It's also a very long, good diagonal that's going to affect most of the game. The problem is that you can't really, you know, you could try to do it from here and have the knight there, or no, it doesn't really work. You might think, oh, it's unfair and I'm bullying these bad players, but that would be true in just a base chess sense anyway. But the reason why it's not true here is because of the simple fact that, I don't know these super well either. You're blocking that, preventing the check, which is cute, but it doesn't really matter because, I've gotten the position that I want. So what I want now is I almost want to put the knight there. Or you could go like here and then here, but like for what purpose, I don't know. Using the rooks becomes very difficult here to the extent that I don't mind doing this just to try to sort of push that out, even though it prevents my diagonal from being effective. My intention is not necessarily to keep it there, but there's some like the fact that the bishop is there means that the king could be easily trapped because all you would need is a single light square attack, right? If my light square bishop was in there, if I go here, right, that's very dangerous in itself, which I can guarantee to do. And that is a fork, and so even if you were to take and double take, it would be fine. How do I cancel that one? Oh no, it just looks like that. Anyway, I was gonna say I thought that was my pre-move. So now maybe I take here, but then it opens up this, which allows the king to have too much mobility. Because even if here you would take, it wouldn't matter if you took because you're still going, but they're different colors. That's why they're different colors. Fuck. Because now I would take, you would take, I would do this, but then you could move away and then you could move away. Fuck. They always do this escape artist shit. I'm presenting the trade there. I'm not too happy with the way this went. It's going to end up blowing up in my face actually because you're not going to well, if you move this, that in itself is a victory though. But you seem like you can't save them both, but you somehow can. And the reason why you can is because of the simple fact that I don't know what just happened, man. We take here, we attack the king, he can take back. I should have come here and tried to do that. Like it's so frustrating, man. This stupid ass fucking knight can't do shit. Like how would you just get it there? Hmm. I hate that. This is fine. I don't know. He's gonna escape what could have been an extremely strong position just because of the stupid ass knight and its inability to do anything in the game of chess. It just has a way to frustrate you. Whether you're winning, you're losing, anything, it just pisses you off. I'm gonna get to 2000 in Chaturanga alt teams before I get to fucking actual and anything else. And again, people always say that, like, oh, haha, inflated rating, but that would have been true all along, right? Like, when I was 1500, that's still inflated. When I'm 1200, it's still inflated. Like, so when I'm 1700, that's validating because it means that all these 2000s who are always showing off or whatever, rightfully so, maybe, but you know what I mean? How much further could I get without really studying openings formally and all this kind of stuff? And the answer is that you're basically able to look at it from a perspective that you're not really doing it. Or I guess that's what I say. Like, I could finally do it now and then decide what I want to do. But my point is that, 1700 is already pretty far. How much farther could I get? And of course, that should make the difference if you just study. So, um, and at that point, it becomes insane because then everybody's studying and tryharding like crazy. But I'm not the kind of dude who's impressed by like an Alex Botez or somebody who's but no, I could save it explicitly for playing against sort of viewers. I like how my friend is saying, how much do you think Carmela Harris will lose by in the election? Like Carmela is how he wrote it. Carmela Harris will LOOSE in the election. But yeah, there's nobody really to play against. Nightmare was in here for every day for a while, and then he kind of disappeared. He's scared because he knows I'm going to beat him, which I did beat him, maybe even a couple times, but it doesn't really mean anything. Or he's somebody who was, around 1800 or whatever at the beginning, and so now I've caught up to him, but that's just because he hasn't played or hasn't taken it seriously. I like the idea of doing it. This is like my big regret. Like when I played a little bit as a kid, I should have just kept playing, even if not a lot, like an hour a day or something. And so by now, I would have literally been like a title player. I can guarantee it, because even in the short amount of time I've seen, I'm not saying it's easy, but imagine how much time is lost like that. That would have been 20 years of playing even just an hour a day, which is more manageable than like, okay, now for the next 10 years I have to play like 5 hours a day or something to try to make up for that. That's the difference, is that I didn't realize it was such an extreme sort of time sink, time horror of a game that people put this much effort into. Right, so much of it is just repetition. Like there's no doubt I've learned things just even from playing, but it's just at a very, very basic surface level, and so it's not really that impactful. Let me try to do like one more maybe. But that's the whole hilarity of this, is yes, it could actually take 40 fucking minutes for a single game. And so almost 10 minutes isn't enough. It should almost be 5. This is where I'm sort of cheating, right? I'm turning it into a classical format where I get to, where I basically get to do it this way. I don't actually want to do that if I'm in the queue though, because I almost don't even want to play it. Let me see if I can. Let's see if this guy who misspelled Kamala Harris's name wants to play. Otherwise, I think that's enough. I don't want to push my luck, but we went on a nice little streak here. We've won approximately how many games in a row? We have best friends forever. So Chandraji, all teams. It's not even showing whether I won or lost. 1530, 1530. It almost makes it seem I would have lost the second one. I'm kind of confused. Or it must have aborted or something. But yeah, like the number of 2,000 rated players that we've come across is quite impressive. So what we have here is the ability to basically, okay, Kadaraji all teams. Let me actually look at each of these because I don't know what happened. The first one, I'm 1530, which means that, I don't know. I assume that I won. Some of these, it's even hard to tell. King captured 0-1. So that's me, right? I'm orange. So we won that one. The second one, I can't actually tell, though. It seems like my rating didn't really change. So what happened? You... Who resigned? Blue resigned, and I am red and green. So I guess it's casual, but I thought I'm getting rating for some of these other ones. So how is it casual? That's the analogy I'd make, like almost to WoW even. The amount that I played WoW, which I don't really regret because it's, such a good game, whatever. The amount that I did that, if I had played chess that much instead, I could have made a career out of it. Not that you couldn't make a career out of playing even a game like WoW in its own way. Even in a stupid way, like, oh, Asmongold streaming it or something. Let the bacons cook. King captured is here. So whose king is captured by what? It looks like green is captured by yellow, which is me. And so you have blue resigned. Okay, I'm losing track of even what I'm looking at. I'm not even really showing it. I mean, I'm pretty sure I won all of these. I'm just kind of even doubting it. Okay, so let me see. I don't know. I just don't want to really play another one, or it's going to take too long to find the queue. So how could I play like a placeholder game of chess? You know what I might do? I might do one game in a random mobile game just because I can do that. That's like another series. So I'm only allowed to play regular games of chess in that, either against viewers right now until this gauntlet ends. but I can find a way to do it in a mobile game, like I was doing on that Saturday format. So I introduced that as an additional format, mobile game permadeath chess gauntlet. But the thing is, I don't even know which ones I played. Right? I think I already have them installed or something. So like, which ones? I'm gonna run out of space in this capacity too. So I'm just gonna look up chess and I'm gonna show whichever one we haven't already played. Chess Legends Master Chess. It's got to be like very popular. Chess Stars Multiplayer Online. Did I play this one? I don't think I did. But no, if it has like 1,000,000 downloads, then it must be pretty good. Edge Ed Res. I don't know what that means. AGEDRES. I always see reference to that. Chess Stars. A lot of these have like some sort of internal gambling type mechanic or some shit. Let's see. Did I play this? It looks kind of similar to maybe one I played. Let's start a short tutorial. Let's not, actually. I don't think I played this exact one. Bro, fuck the tutorial, dude. You know who I am? I'm top 30% chess player in the world. Fuck, which means nothing, but I always say that sarcastically, like, you know, Alex, Botez, and Andrea are top 1% chess players in the world. Yeah, it's because they play chess. They actually play chess on a regular basis. Like, what do you mean, dude? Let's do dark. And we have to pay money for the other one. VIP club membership. Try checkers. Oh, shit. Really, dude? Mastery, learn to play chess, career, play online. 3D blitz, VIP club. Yeah, you gotta do some stupid ass. Well, since it's permadeath and I can't lose, we may as well bet the whole thing. But that's always a good way to show it. What do you mean? Oh, it's because I don't have what I'm even putting out, though. But no, this is a good thing. Combine chess and gambling because my life is on the line. What do you mean, dude? What do you mean? Oh, I have 8,000. Okay, I keep looking at the wrong thing like that. Well, what? I can't do 8? Like, let me set a custom bet. Whatever, we can't lose, so let me just fucking do it. Active. I don't know what all this shit is, bro. Just let me play the game. Timeout in 36. Again, are there going to be people actually playing this? I saw El Loliette's face there. What are you, fucking Death Note fan over here? Or all these pictures sometimes seem fake. Like they're just... You know what I mean? How is it showing that same picture over and over if those players are actually there and you're able to show their picture? Like, you need to realize who you're playing against. This is what I like to do. Like, I get this weird flex moment. You know, weird flex, but very okay. Does Cherry Aquatic, a 650 fucking mobile gamer in chess, understand who they're actually playing against right now in the game? Do they comprehend it? I guess not, because my username's not there. Not that they would know who the fuck I am anyway, but... You could do this, but it seems a little slow paced. I'm actually pretty well versed in the openings that I play, I guess, just because I've done them so many times, which in a way is sort of duplicitous for me to even say that, then that, oh, I haven't studied. Like, I haven't really studied or tried to make an effort to study, but I guess knowing one opening does not a theory expert make. Like, you know it because you play it so much, but even then you wouldn't know it. You only know it because you analyze it sometimes too. But what you're basically able to do is you're basically able to, you know, say that you don't know any other one, so it's not really that meaningful. You can thumbs up him. What does that mean? Like, add him as a friend. Hint, pay to win. This is a pay to win chess game. What do you mean a hint, dude? What do you mean? They would take, I would take, they would take. That wouldn't really work. What do I typically do at this stage in the game when I'm always so comfortable and everything is so good? I could potentially take that. I could raise this. Don't really care about all these inane moves that he's making. You bring it to there, which this in itself would be a good move, so you open the king. You know, how is he 650? If you start at 775, it means that you must have lost a couple games. See, that's the thing. I guess this is how I think about life and society in general, that I have very high expectations of people. Like, I'll always think something is so obvious, but then when I explain it, it's like, oh, that's actually kind of a big deal. What a revolutionary thing, or what a, everybody's so shocked or so mad about it. It's like it's something that's obvious, but maybe it's only obvious to me, and that's not even like a flex thing. It's just to say that, like, that pink flamingo technique, like, oh, anybody can get to 1700. And what other people sometimes might say, better players, or what I might even say, is, oh, well, that's so obvious, of course anybody can do it. But then you see that thousands of people don't do it, or millions of people around the world, right? They're not all that rating. So therefore, what would you do? They would take, I would take, it's gonna come to the same thing anyway here. But no, I got embarrassed in some other game, like some other mobile game. They would take, I would take, they would take. There's no need to do that. Now, I guess what you would naturally do, you can create like an Octopus Knight-ish over here, but I don't need to do that. What I'll do is I'll open this. And again, you could make fun, oh, haha, mobile game. And then the main issue is like the quality of the opponents is probably going to be dumb. But the reality is that it doesn't matter because, um, it doesn't matter because of the simple fact that, it's still chess. I mean, chess is still chess no matter how you play it. So, this is almost just my urge to play, regular chess for some reason that I'm having, because it's been a while. So we'll make this as a little bonus mini series that is just permadeath mobile chess games, which seems silly, but there are presumably a lot of them, but a lot of them probably don't have a very good player base either. You could go like this, or you could also go like, you take, I take, and then the queen can't do anything, but it could maybe do something. But not really, because even in the worst case, so again, you go here, they would take, I would take, and then you'd be fine because you get to have the rook and the queen connection over here. See, look how, I'm not even trying to be arrogant, but look how hard and long it still sometimes takes, right, when you're even a clearly superior opponent. Now, if you open this, you're already double attacking there, so you could hit this, you know. You're not only attacking this, covering this, you can create a double stack, but you're already attacking, so if you went somewhere else, you could, like, give a check and stuff here. That I didn't really actually see or pay attention to, but I do like this, and you're in a very dangerous spot here, though, because you're about to almost get mated and shit if you don't correct it. But I think what I'm going to create is a double stack, and if I create a double stack, then I'm basically able to, rectify the whole situation. You can't really give another check, so let me just do this for now. And I'm giving up a couple pawns, I guess, in doing it, but it's fine. Because that wouldn't have just been a take on the rook and a check, it would have been actually been mate. So I'd say, oh, this is all part of my master plan, but it's really not. I just don't know what I'm doing. We can go to here, I guess. I don't fully understand. These are the moves, like, in this position, you should calculate. Because if you actually use your brain and calculate, you're more than likely going to win the game. Because, even if you're too lazy to calculate over the course of the game, now you should easily do it. Or you should definitely do it, because now, now it's going to be very impactful. Every move you make is going to be a big deal. So you can't even block the thing. You should probably just try to open the other rook. Feel like that kind of move is what I don't understand. Even if you're not a good player, it's just not a move that makes a whole lot of sense. So you should be able to take that, maybe. I should try to bring my queen in too, but I can't figure out exactly how to do it. Look at the fight that they're giving me, man. In fact, he's even winning by like a pawn or something. I thought he was winning by like 2 pawns. I should be able to take there, but he can obviously go somewhere else too. I wouldn't mind even doing the trade. I wouldn't mind also even taking with the queen. But no, there is like this playing down to competition or something like that that happens where, yeah, I'm fine with this, even though it's probably a lazy play to make, because you can, oh, you know what? No, but you'll still be in check. But I can't even let you do shit on, no, I guess the queen's there, it doesn't matter. So you take, I take. I just have to be careful. Like, I can't give up a move. I can't give up a move here. Like, you attack this now, and then I have to cover it, and then you'll do some shit that I can't account for. If you go here, the queen checks on the back rank, and then I can bring whatever I want to do, right? It shouldn't really matter. It's so hard to get the queen involved sometimes. It's actually quite frustrating. So you go ahead, you give a check, then I block, then if you take, then I take. It's still perfectly fine. But I'm not really in a material advantage such that I would... Well, that's a strange move, because the queen move would have been more intuitive, not even saying it's that good. If you go here, it should be damn near mate. In fact, it is a mate, but it's not a mate. But how? How is it not a mate? Oh, I don't know. It should just be after a move. Like if you go here and then you bring the bishop or something. Right, you can only go to a dark square. And therefore you get to go here and then you get mated. But then you don't still. You don't still, because then you can hide behind it or some shit. Or no, it's because you also get you get taken by the knight or something. Bro. It's really my fault that I'm this like flaky with it though. It's just so dumb, like it shouldn't come down to fucking... Like, why should I have to think this hard in this kind of fucking context? You go here, you can't take the bishop. Is it not made? Like, it's never fucking made. Okay, now you go here. Then you just gotta make sure you don't blunder something to the actual knight itself. Right, and so now you get to... You get to basically try to do this, but you can't. You can... I don't know. I just give up even trying to think. Like, let's just... Or we can do this at least. But see, we gotta watch the back rank. I can't actually take the rook. And the reason why I can't take the rook is because of the simple fact that if I do, then you can actually mate my dumb ass. Because the stupid ass knight isn't even protecting me adequately. So I'm doing that more so just to take the pawn, not to actually take the thing. Bro. Bro. You go here, and then you figure out some other way to give a check, like with the queen. You can't go here, you can't go here, so you have to go there. So then I can come like here and give another check, and then it's still not mate for another fucking century. Now you go into there, and then maybe with the dark square attack, you could do something. Right, because you only have this. Okay, dude, really? A match deserving of fireworks? What can I say? I win the fucking little gambling thing. Career start. Why do so many of these games actually have that dynamic of the whole currency? You might say, oh, it's the business model, but you know what I mean? Why does it have to do with chess? Weekly championship. 3.1 million. I mean, imagine. Imagine taking this shit seriously. I guess I am in the permadeath sense, but I do that with everything anyway. What is the VIP thing anyway? This is Blitz, which I'm not good at Blitz anyway. 0 members online. Build and play with your own chess club. Isn't that an awesome way to advertise it? 0 members. Training. King Larry. I mean, that was adequately fun, but again, it's the same fucking thing. It's just chess every game. I don't know. I just wanted to take a break from doing that. Not that I wasn't enjoying the Chataraji thing, but... Should I maybe do one more just to kind of flex how good I am, clearly? Fine. Or no, now we can up the ante, too. We can do a 10k bet. Okay. I'm at least assuming these are real people, but you never know. Oh, he has his own little sexy piece set that I could save up to try to get too. I love this. We're not playing fucking chess. We're playing gambling because we're gonna win. You know, what do I have to lose? If I lose a game, it's over, and I'm never playing this again. So he's 760. I'm 780. You can never underestimate who these people are. It could be a GM playing it for the first time as a joke, and you might be like, "How would they be 760?" But it could be their first game. So you start at 760. So yes, of course, the King's Indian. Classic opening of champions that I would clearly be so well versed at 760 fucking rating in an inflated mobile game. There's this one video that's pretty famous that's like that, where it's like a guy talking in a very studious tone. He's like, I don't know how to explain it. Yes, of course, you have to use this, like, you lose in like 3 moves and you have to do this exact thing. I don't know how to explain it. I'm not a fan of even doing this move, but I guess even if I was to take it, would be dangerous, but maybe not that dangerous. But it's like, you know, you open the H file and that can be suicide. You go back, you don't have the gumption to even follow through with your stupid ass gambit that you're trying to do. Not a fan of that, but you can easily just take it. There's not even any downside because it's no longer covered unless there's something else to it that I'm missing, but I don't think so. Now you can move that wherever you want, but it doesn't matter. So you just give us up a pawn already. You really think you're 760, dude? Okay, here we go. He's gonna do some crazy shit though. Now it's gonna almost compel me to take. Gonna compel me to take, and the reason why it's gonna compel me to take. Oh, I don't know. That can be suicide. You can just lose. Well, no, no, it's okay because you. That's very dangerous. I'm just gonna tell you. You can park the knight here, and then at least you have to take the knight and turn it into something else. So what you can do is you can basically raise this, trying to escape that way with the king, because if the queen and the rook are on the H file, it's over. Like, you just lose the game. So you just have to realize how insanely dangerous that can actually be. You push that shit out, and the main reason is to give the king somewhere to go in case everything goes wrong. So this person is making a lot of mistakes, but I can never be too careful because, again, the H file is in play. Go back. As long as I have this open, I don't feel too worried. Okay, bro. You're playing like me when I was a kid. Overly aggressive and stupid, but even I was still better and more disciplined than this. Which way do we really want to open up here? I should have a more defensive mindset because he does still have a strong position, but... Okay, he must be a bot or something. Or this is more natural, because if you do this, it's all split and stuff, right? This makes more sense. Because you have the sort of connected structure here. Maybe that wasn't the greatest idea, because now you... Uh-oh. Somehow, some way, this guy's gonna do some crazy thing. You double stack onto there, but even if you do, I guess it would be mate, because you... Oh, wait. No way. You could sack. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. You cannot do this to me. Bro. Bro. How the fuck do I even change this? Oh, I can't even stop the diagonal. Wow, dude. Wow. It's a forced mate. Like, how the fuck does that happen? He's not gonna see it because he sucks, but you could just do the... Man, the H file, I'm telling you. Oh, you know what I maybe should have done is gone there, because then at least... Ah, fuck. Because you might be like, oh, you could take the bishop, but you can't take the bishop because this was probably the better move, or even moving my bishop itself there would have been good. Right, because if you take, then take, then take, now he's just giving it up for free. But you realize what just happened. I could have just lost because of this guy's overly aggressive play. I could have. Well, now it doesn't matter because you don't have the other square covered. But no, beware of the dangers of the H file because I don't know what to tell you. That is so fucking stupid. Now, this is good because if you take, I take, you're gonna lose the rook no matter what. If you go here, I take. I guess the fact that he's taking variable amounts of time would tell you he's not a bot. But no, I mean he was winning and he did have mate and whatever the fuck if he really wanted to do it. So now this is still under attack. That's perfectly fine. It's over now, but I mean, he gave me a scare. That's why you have to be careful about the H file. The better move would have been just to move the queen there, I guess, in the first place in such a way that. So what should happen is you should be able to do a lot of damage here, but I don't know exactly how. Right, if we fuck up a little bit, it could be a problem. You're double attacking that, but I don't really care about material right now. It should be a mating thing. So often I get mates without actually seeing them, which is kind of a weird, weird piece of commentary. Like I get a mate, but I'm not really looking for a mate. I'm just taking something, capturing something. Or that's something I liked to play when I was younger too, like not Sudoku, Scrabble. And then I go to try to play it online and get my ass beat. You go here. No, no, no. No, I'm trying to blunder my shit here. You can go like this, I guess. I'm not even really looking for it in terms of a mate. I'm just looking for a check. I'm just looking for anything because mating in chess is basically fucking impossible. Like, even if you study your whole life, you just can't do it. Like, look at how long this takes. Like, obviously my position is good, but it just doesn't even matter. Like, it's gonna take a fucking century. You go here, I'll go here. Like, I don't give a shit. Bro. Bro. So what you would try to maybe do is you would maybe try to put the dark square bishop there or something. You could take this as well as it's covered, I guess. Or this is still not even covered. But then that wouldn't have been covered, so if I took, then you could have took this and checked. So now this position is a little confusing. This is where you just want to trade off the queen and stuff. Look at how much effort this still takes, and he would have won too. Like, I'm actually baffled by some of these positions that happen. He opens the H file and he's able to. I go in cocky and then I like play too fast or something. Right, he had it. He could have sacked, and then I took, and then he takes with the queen or whatever, right? And then he wins because of the simple fact that it's gonna be a mate in some other way now. Oh my god. You wanted to do this, but it's gonna take a century to actually do it. You have to move this, but the act of moving it is going to get you in trouble. And the reason why is because I don't know. I don't think he can do anything with it, really. You'll go here, you give a check there, but you can't even give it. But even if you could, I could still move there. So only if you didn't constrain that, you might be like, oh, you could block, but you technically, assuming the queen wasn't there, you wouldn't even be able to block because the block would just be takeable, right? Because it's not actually covered. So if the queen could do something impactful there, it would be very strong. This should be a damn near mate as it is, but it's just not possible to do that, I guess. This would be like a take and a fork. This is covered. Like how? How is it possible in the game not to get mated now? How? But how? I don't care, man. Like, what the fuck, man? He still can't take anything, or he can take that, I guess. You could potentially take that. I kind of want to just develop the knight. I don't have the attacking mindset, but even if you do, it's like it's just so much harder than you would expect. Or now this isn't covered, so I'm missing sort of obvious things too. As long as the queen can't do anything crazy impactful. And the reason why is because if you could check there, then I'm in trouble. And so if you could cover some other dark square or something, right, it could be problematic. Because you can't really block above. So I would have loved to have traded there, but I guess I just can't. Nothing you can actually take. You can give a check. You can try to hit something on a dark square. Right, if I go here and then you give another check, I could keep going back and forth. A draw technically wouldn't count as a loss, but then I end up here, and then you give a check there, and then I'm kind of screwed, or I can still block it. Or you could do this now too, to try to give a check like that. That's kind of why you see I get frustrated with attacks. Like, it feels like you should just win, but you have to put too much effort into actually doing it. Like, I'm not... You know, that's why I hate attacking. It's either going to be impossible or super elaborate, or it takes too much effort. So, like, why even bother? I can just win in a more positional, basic sense, which is not a good philosophy to have, but it's just how I am. Sort of like a path of least resistance idea that you're basically able to... Like, I'm gonna win, although technically I would have lost this anyway. You can't even move the queen, so you just lose the game. I mean, they give me a good fight, but it is what it is, bro. Still not mate, though. It's never fucking mate. You gotta promote a pawn and try to hope that you get a mate. You go to a dark square, I can give a check with the queen, I can take this shit. I'll just take everything and promote. I don't even care. I don't care if there is a mate. I don't even want a mate anymore. The only mate we're gonna get is a stalemate. Like, I'll just give an infinite number of checks. Go up to like there, then I'll fork your dumbass with this. You know, these kind of checks can sometimes be bad because you're letting them go back to where you just already were. Take the stupid ass thing. It's not going to be a stalemate. This is what it really takes. Like, just imagine that, bro. Just imagine that. I'm not even trying to BM you, I swear. I'm just that bad at attacking, I guess. Or it's just actually that hard. Man. Are you going to get the 50 move roll? Or he's just going to resign? Or is it actually checkmate? I almost can't even believe it when I see it. Like, look how salty I am about that. It's just something about the game that is like, you could say, oh, it's so complicated, but there's something else to it. It's like all these sort of inane, redundant moves that you have to make that are kind of annoying. Like even the best players, you'll kind of, I saw Magnus playing a little 1900 rated kid for whatever reason, matchmaking is shit, I guess, in that whatever environment that they're playing. But the point is that you end up doing it like where Magnus will do a twofold repetition, right? And then he'll do everything he can until the threefold repetition, and then he'll do it. Like exhaust every twofold repetition so you don't get a threefold repetition. So then you do it. Unlike Chess says, and again, the whole point of this is the player base has to be good, which I don't know how many people are actually playing it based on this one member online. But what's the point of it then? Invite friends to build and play with your own chess club. This is sad. This just makes me sad to look at. Imagine doing this. Imagine doing this. Okay, see you tomorrow.